It's time for your statewide Alabama weathercast.
Good morning, I'm meteorologist Drew McCombs with the Alabama Weather Network, and this is your late morning forecast update for the state. And we've got cloud cover over especially the southern part of the state, northern part of the state, Tennessee Valley, seeing maybe a few more breaks in the clouds, but you can see pretty socked in across the southern half of Alabama. And a few sprinkles trying to start to show up on radar on the western side of the state, but without really getting anything at the surface quite yet. But as we get later on to the afternoon and the evening, through the nighttime period, we expect a heavy rainfall, especially in the kind of central and southern parts of the state, and also pretty significant, just good rainfall for the north as well. So expecting fairly widespread rain as we move through later on today and into tomorrow morning. So looking at our sky cams, looking really nice there at UNA in Florence. It's 32 degrees, so it's still sitting at freezing there. Dew points are still in the 20s, so still got some dry air in the northern part of the state right now. That'll have to be eroded a little bit before the rain gets in here. As we look in Huntsville, beautiful view looking back towards the southeast into the cove, and you can see it's 34 degrees there, a little bit warmer, still fairly dry air in place, and got a little bit of a breeze there atop Monte Sano. Further south, the Region Center in downtown Birmingham, looking nice there. You got the ship tower off to the left, and got Vulcan sitting on Red Mountain there in the distance, and looking pretty nice there with still some colors towards the horizon, but overcast skies in place there as well. As we look at Mount Cheaha, looking fairly overcast there as well, but nice looking view there as you look at the horizon. It's 39 degrees there with a little bit more of a gusty wind atop the higher elevations. Bald Rock, beautiful as well, with a little bit of haze here and there, but just some low clouds. It's 35 degrees there atop Bald Rock, and again, the dew points are in the 30s, so we've got some dry air in that area as well. As you move further to the south, a little bit more moisture, but not a ton. It's 43 degrees for the dew point, but it's 50 degrees for the temperature in Montgomery, but a pretty thick blanket of clouds there as we move further into the kind of the south central part of the state. Dauphin Island, blanket of clouds there as well, but you see the moisture has definitely increased a little bit there in Dauphin Island. It's 53 degrees for the dew point. It's 56 degrees for the temperature, so a little bit warmer start in the coastal areas as you would expect. And this is looking towards the north. Now, Gulf Shores, we're similar there. Temperatures around 56 degrees, and we'll expect to get some heavier surf and rip current issues later on tonight and into tomorrow with this system coming through. So just to be aware of that. Doubt too many people are trying to get in the water with this as chilly as it is these days, but this time of year. But just be aware of that and get a little bit more of a breeze there as well. And we'll be watching the coast because of the possibility of enough instability getting onshore to produce maybe a few thunderstorms later on tonight. We'll talk more about that in a second. But starting off with our low temperature so far this morning, decent spread across the state. Got down below freezing in the northern part of the state, the Tennessee Valley and points to the south. Coleman actually hit 28 degrees. Got down to 31 in Huntsville, 32 in Florence. Further to the south, almost hit freezing in Birmingham with 33 degrees there. And then moving further to the south, got in the 40s, 45 in Thomasville, 48 in Greenville, and then still in the low 50s or mid 50s as you moved further down into the southeast part of the state. As far as our Skywatcher temperatures, had some places, pretty much most of them hitting the 30s. Chris Cheatwood and Anderson hit right there at the freezing mark. Don Culver in Rainbow City hit 34. Ryan Hoffman in Inverness, 35 degrees. Joe Eady in Taylorville got down to 36. And then Andy Klein in Helena hit 37 degrees. And the temperatures right now, we're still pretty chilly across, especially the northern half of the state. It's 37 in Florence. It's 35 in Huntsville. It's 45 in Clanton, a little bit warmer towards the south, 51 in Greenville, 54 in Andalusia. And kind of had this front that came through yesterday, kind of stalled. We didn't really get it all the way through the state, so you still got a little bit warmer air in the southern part of the state. And similar kind of story as we look at our forecast highs for today. Expect to get into the 60s in some places in the south, 65 in Andalusia, 66 in Geneva. Could still hit lower 70s right there along the coast. As we see whether a warm front will be able to lift far enough north or not. But up to the north, 44 degrees in Florence, so it's going to be kind of another chilly day. And it'll be more of a cold rain as the rain comes into the northern part of the state in the Tennessee Valley. Not quite as much of a cold rain, I guess you could say, in South Alabama, but certainly a chilly rain in the northern half as this system comes through. So again, soaking rain tonight. Fairly chilly in the north, a little bit milder in the south, and we expect thunderstorms are a possibility in the southern and far southern part of the state. Could see a few rumbles of thunder right along the coast there in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, Dauphin Island. That's the possibility of getting maybe a strong thunderstorm or two. We'll talk about more of that in a second. looking not super likely at this point, but pretty conditional. As we look for further down the road, more rain Thursday into Friday, and then things start to dry out some as we head into the weekend, and temperatures kind of staying below average overall. It's going to be, we're going to have some chilly times as well. A good bit of rain this week, but also some times where it ends up being pretty cold as well. Looking at your water vapor, so you can see developing low there in the western Gulf that'll be moving in this direction, and that low will kind of go through the southern or northern Gulf right there, kind of skirting the southern part of the state. And again, where that tracks exactly will have a lot to do with whether we get a strong thunderstorm or two right there along the coast. But you can see moisture streaming in there, and so all of that's kind of setting the stage for the system to come in later on today and into tomorrow morning. As we look at our severe weather outlook, there is a level 1 marginal risk, that green there, covering a good portion of Baldwin County and maybe even the southern sliver of Escambia and Covington counties. But again, it's conditional whether the warm front that'll be along this low pressure as it moves through the Gulf, whether it can get far enough to the north to get enough instability far enough north for a strong thunderstorm or two right there along the coast. It's very possible that it doesn't happen and it just stays a solid rain event with maybe a couple of rumbles of thunder. But just so you know, there is that possibility. Could have a strong thunderstorm or two. And looking at the forecast instability, very weak instability as we move through the day today. Really where there's the chance that it might get enough to produce a strong thunderstorm or maybe even a severe thunderstorm would be late tonight into early morning. So you can see a little bit of a uptick in that instability right there in southern Baldwin County as we hit 11 o'clock tonight according to the model here. So that would be the time frame that you maybe could get a stronger thunderstorm. And again, if anything, you would get damaging wind gusts. We can't say that there's a 0% chance of an isolated brief tornado with this if it happens. But again, it's not a certainty. Very conditional, very confined to the very southern edge of the state along the coast. So just be aware that the vast majority of the state, no issues with any severe weather. It's going to be just rain, cold rain in the north, rain across most of the state, no issues. So just make sure that we're clear about that. Looking at the futurecast, let's kind of walk through it here. So we start off this morning, cloud cover across most of the state. As we get into the noon hour, some showers starting to build in from the west, maybe a few there right along the coast as well. And then as we get into this evening, then we start to see more widespread rain coming into the state. And again, some heavier pockets there, especially in the southern part of the state, but some moderate rain in North Alabama as well. And then here's that kind of late night period where really most of southern Alabama just getting heavy rain, beneficial rain, maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but generally just rain. Temperatures in the 50s. But as you get to the far south, 69 degrees in Gulf Shores, the dew points will be a little bit higher. Will we get enough instability? We'll be watching it. Obviously, we'll be watching the radar. But again, main thing is just going to be beneficial rain with this as it moves through. Now, as we move into Tuesday morning, it's going to be kind of a raw day on Tuesday. The rain moves out early, maybe a few lingering showers into Tuesday morning, but temperatures in the 30s and 40s across North Alabama, maybe 50s to the south, but breeze picks up. It's going to be cloudy, kind of a raw, chilly day. By the afternoon, you can see, again, 30s, especially to the north with the winds coming out of the northwest, and maybe some sunshine starting to peek out in the southwest, so it'll start to moderate a little bit there. But again, a cold morning as we move into Wednesday morning. It will be the coldest morning of the week, and then we start to see the showers moving in again as we get into Thursday morning, and there'll be a couple of waves, it looks like, over the course of Thursday and into Friday that we will see some more rain. But that next event, Thursday, Friday, looks more like a southern Alabama mainly event, but there could be a few showers to the north as well. Did want to point out, though, that looking at the wind chill, so as we move into Tuesday night, or Tuesday and then to Tuesday night, it's going to be pretty chilly out there with the breeze, with the cold air moving back in, and so we'll have wind chills well into the 20s, especially in the northern part of the state, but feeling like even freezing late Tuesday night. With that with that drier and colder air mass moving in. Rainfall outlook through this coming Sunday. So again, the southern 3/4 of the state going to get some beneficial rain, 2 to 3 inches possible, maybe 4 inches in spots over the next several days, closer to a little bit over an inch as you move further to the northwest. But again, the southern part of the state is really where we need it the most with the drought as it is now. So again, that's kind of a nice setup there. Looking at your 7-day forecast, northern half of Alabama, again, mainly PM rain moving in, some heavy rain at times moving through the overnight period. Rain ends early tomorrow in North Alabama, chilly behind that, windy, kind of raw day. Cold morning, Wednesday morning, down into the low mid-20s for lows. And then, but a sunny day generally otherwise on Wednesday. And then again, showers start to move back in, especially, kind of in the southern fringe of North Alabama into Thursday and into Friday. And then things start to taper off into Saturday. And the weekend starting to look mostly dry at this point, maybe a few lingering showers on Saturday. But Sunday is looking pretty good there for North Alabama. For the southern half of Alabama, again, PM rain, showers, heavy rain at times. Thunderstorms possible, again, like we talked about, confined to the very coastal areas, maybe a strong thunderstorm or two. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer, though. We won't be quite as chilly with temperatures in the 50s and 60s. And then, again, but Wednesday morning still looks cold in South Alabama, 30 degrees there. And we expect sunshine back on Wednesday, then better chance of the rain Thursday and Friday in South Alabama than in North Alabama. But again, the weekend's starting to look pretty good with temperatures being fairly mild in the 60s. Well, that is your Alabama forecast update. We appreciate you watching us here on the Alabama Weather Network.